Hello everyone, Mike here with another Helm to Tower video. First off, I just want to say Happy New Year. We're in 2024 now. I hope it is a great one for everyone. I hope everyone had a nice little holiday break for themselves. I just wanted to give you a general channel update here. This won't be like super in-depth video or anything. Just also I made like a little post already on our YouTube channel, but I just wanted to kind of get a little bit more in-depth in the video here as we get into 2024. So as you've seen over the years, if you've been with the channel for a little bit, you've seen it's kind of evolved already a little bit over the past like 2 years or so. We've been doing stuff. It started off as just kind of more Destiny guides, little weapon reviews, simple things like that here or there. But we shifted into doing just a full-fledged podcast last year, the Helm to Tower podcast, and that was a lot of fun with me and Ari, just talking about Destiny 2. But as the year progressed, Destiny had a very weird year last year, and I think we just, in general, I wanted to look at other games in the vein of Destiny to, like, spark my interest in some of this stuff again, and just also, have a more broad coverage on the channel in general. So that's going to be kind of largely what this year is going to look like. Destiny 2 coverage and the way we do it here on the channel will still largely remain the same, with the Helm to Tower podcast popping up here and there, but we'll also maybe have some random videos here and there, especially as we get into this weird time frame in Destiny where, if you've been following the seasonal story, as of this recording, the Season of the Wish story has ended, and now we basically, I think, for the next couple months, kind of don't have anything. So me and Ori are at least going to get together and talk about the stuff that's happened in the recent weeks in Destiny soon here, probably next week. We'll have another episode of the Helm to Tower podcast talking about that stuff. And beyond that, we honestly haven't even talked about that yet. We might have, I mean, just general vibes, like during this downtime, you might see a lot less episodes of the podcast, but it's not going anywhere. We might just wait till we get closer to the final shape in the summer and start picking back up more and more episodes there. But you might see a sprinkle of them here as we get in this downtime. But that's just the reality of things with Destiny, and why I also want to look at other games to cover here on the channel. Again, also late last year, we started covering Wayfinder on the channel. And I just want to say thank you. A lot more people have come by the channel and checked out the Wayfinder guides and video coverage I've been doing over the start of last year. It's been a lot of fun. I like that game quite a bit, even though it is like early access and has, some hurdles to get over. I'm waiting right now. There probably will be another video for that game soon, because they have kind of talked about there being some kind of early roadmap of the first part of the year they're going to show off soon here. I don't know exactly when, but it could be any day, because they said sometime this week. So looking forward to that. And, if they do put that out, I would definitely have a video about that, and videos about the future of Wayfinder, what I want to see from the game, and new content. I will have guides and videos and things like that I've already been doing here on the channel. So if you're here for just like Destiny content or Wayfinder content, that stuff will still be here. I'll still be continuing to make it here on the channel, and that I'm just kind of giving you a vibe check of where we're going with that stuff. But again, something I did talk about when I started covering Wayfinder was like, I wanted to cover other games of this ilk on this channel, just broaden the horizons of this. I didn't want to while we're still kind of growing this channel, I didn't want to have a scenario where I kind of focus solely on one game, and that is what makes my channel much bigger and explodes, and then I'm kind of trapped in creating content for one particular game, and I'm fully stuck with the potential of, like, if this game doesn't become successful, or it falls off and has difficulties catching back on with an audience that it's losing slowly. I didn't want to have my channel kind of be ruined by that aspect, if just being completely honest here. So that's kind of why I'm looking at other games, and I just want to have like a more broad general coverage here on the channel of these type of games. Like, Destiny is like an action game, first-person shooter, but also has like MMO elements. Wayfinder, third-person character action game, collecting game, but also has like MMO social aspects to the game. So, think of those kind of games, right? Like MMORPGs, action RPGs that are like online and multiplayer. Like, these are the kind of games I'm going to be looking at on the channel, and there are a bunch coming out actually this year that I do want to look at as they come out throughout the year. So I want to kind of cover a couple quick ones. Again, these aren't going to be out like, in the coming weeks. These are like going to be throughout the year. So again, reiterate, still covering Destiny, still covering Wayfinder, but when these newer games come out, you might see a little bit less of one of those games coverage here to look at that game. And then, immediately, like if one of these games comes out and I really like it and I want to continue covering it, then that'll become another staple of game coverage here on the channel. And then you might see a little bit less Destiny, you might see a little less Wayfinder. That'll just be the nature of me being sort of a one-man person kind of making content for this channel. But yeah, I just want to talk about a couple of those games to give you an idea of like what games I might cover here in the future on Helm the Tower. So let's get into those. So the first game I want to talk about is Blue Protocol. This game actually came out last year in Japan. I've been watching some videos here and there of it. It is a like third-person action game with MMO elements. I believe a lot of the dev team was formerly of Hoyoverse or MiHoYo, the creators of Genshin Impact. I think they some people split off and made their own team and are now making this game. And it seems pretty cool from what I've seen from it. It's very action focused. It is not like your typical tap target MMO. It is more like you're actually controlling a character, and you have different action elements. You can freely swap between different classes rather than being like stuck to a class. There's a bunch of character customization. It is a free to play. It will be free to play when it comes out, I believe it already is free to play in Japan where it is released, and I think it'll be published here by Amazon. But I think that'll be an interesting one. I really like the visual styles of it. I like some of the gameplay aspects I've seen so far from it. And it seems like definitely a little different from what we've covered here so far on the channel. Not really covered many anime games, but as you'll see, some of the games I'm interested in, there definitely will be a little bit of anime flavor coming to the channel. So I hope the weebs and already in the community rise up, or maybe some more stop by. Who cares? Like these look fun. These are fun games, regardless of their anime style. If you're not into that or into that. So this will definitely be one I look at when it releases. We don't have it's coming out this year in the US sometime. We don't have an exact time frame. I know there is some kind of global beta test coming up relatively soon that I signed up for, so hopefully I can get into that test and cover the game and give you some impressions and thoughts when that test comes out. And then I'll also really get a better idea of how much I want to cover the game on the channel. Again, that's going to be a big thing. Is a lot of this is just dependent on like the game comes out and it's super fun to play, and I myself enjoy playing it enough to want to continue to cover it in a meaningful sense. At best, you might just see a first initial impressions and overall thoughts kind of review style videos, like one or two videos if I just kind of play it a little bit and maybe not want to cover it beyond that. If I actually do want to cover it, then I'll start making like more proper guides or other video style content about the game. That's kind of the plan I have for a lot of these ones I'm going to be talking about from here on. But yeah, Blue Protocol seems pretty interesting. I like the visual styles. I think it has some promise. So I definitely think it'll be one I want to look at as we get into the new year whenever it releases. A different game I also want to check out that recently had a closed beta and is admittedly usually not my style of game, but I've watched some videos and streamers play it and it looks super interesting, and that is Once Human. This is a survival action game. It looks like very much like The Division, but it is in like a sci-fi fantasy world, and it's also open world survival, so it's not just like full-on looter shooter style game. But I just like the visual presentation. The creatures and the enemy designs are really cool and interesting. I unfortunately was not able to get into the recent beta that's been going on. I know it got blown up by a lot of people being really into the game, so I was kind of amazed at how much people were liking it. It kind of came out of nowhere. That's always kind of can happen sometimes with these kind of games, right? Like something comes out of nowhere and then it just kind of blows up and people are really digging it. So that is not planned till like the later half of 2024. So more than likely you will not won't see a lot of coverage of that anytime soon, unless like another beta happens that I'm able to get into, and I'll check it out then. But that's something to look forward to in like kind of the far end of this year. So that'll be where that goes. Another one that's probably a little bit later into the year, I'm gonna guess it's probably like closer to like the summer or maybe even fall release, is Zenless Zone Zero. This is the next Hoyoverse game. It is another anime game. Anime gamers rise up. This one I actually have had a chance to play in. There's a closed beta test that happened back in December. I actually played probably like 10, 15 hours of this and really enjoyed my time with it. I really like the fast-paced action to combat, although it was a little simple, because it's like, characters have pretty simple combos, but the whole conceit is you're kind of building up, like a stun meter on an enemy with those combos in order to hot swap between the characters, and almost like a Marvel versus Capcom kind of style of combat that I really liked. It's just super flashy. It looks really nice. The visual presentation of it is really nice. You can see that Hoyoverse money coming in, the Genshin Impact money coming in with this game. It looks really nice. The voice acting and stuff is actually really good too. I liked all that stuff that I played. I could do I was thinking about doing like an impressions video of that on the channel. I just didn't have time with a lot of the winter time being, time for holidays and stuff I had to get prepared for, but also I was like covering Wayfinder and that winter event and covering Destiny and its new season. So this just kind of like fell into that stuff. So I didn't really have a time to do a lot of closed beta impression video for that. I still could. I think I still have the footage here on this PC. So I guess, if people hear this and go, oh, I want to see more Zenless Zone Zero. Let me see what you got. Like, sure, I can put a video together and give some more in-depth impressions. But yeah, this is one I'm definitely going to look at for. Again, it'll be like a lot like Hoyoverse games, where it is a gacha game, free to play when it launches, and you're pulling for characters and different items and things like that. But I think the combat and the visual presentations and all that stuff is really cool. So I think it's worth checking out and maybe covering here on the channel as well. The last game here I wanted to just bring up quickly here, that's probably definitely going to be one I at least cover, and again, that basic sense on the channel, is The First Descendant. This is another one that I was unfortunate enough to not be able to play when it got a beta test. I think it was last fall or even last summer even. I know I saw a lot of content creators, especially Destiny content creators, go check out this game because it is a looter shooter, third-person action game. I know it has specific characters you are playing as. They have their own skills and abilities and stuff you're pulling off to make builds and do other things. And yeah, it seemed cool. It has a cool kind of sci-fi aesthetic to it. I know it had some initial beta that people weren't really into, and then had a second one, and that's the one that people were feeling more because they made a lot of changes. That is currently slated for the summer of this year, so it's not super far off, but it will be a little while. But that's one I'm probably going to check out. I believe it'll be free to play if I remember correctly. I'm 100% sure on that, honestly. But it will be one that comes, and it's also going to be on everything. It's going to be on PlayStation and Xbox and other consoles and stuff as well. So that's one that interests me. And again, it's in that kind of looter shooter space like a Destiny. So I definitely think I'll at least have some fun with it, and we'll probably cover here a little bit on the channel. So that'll be one to look out for. So again, yeah, Blue Protocol, First Descendant, Zenless Zone Zero, Once Human. These are 4 big games that are this year. They're new. They're gonna be new, big multiplayer kind of MMO adjacent style looter games that interest me. From seeing kind of the initial press material, or I've been fortunate to play a closed beta test of one of them. So I think they're going to be games I at least look at again on a basic sense. Maybe do some initial impression videos once they're fully launched, and maybe a more review style video that goes more in depth about different things after that impressions video. But if I like them more than that, they will become a staple, just like Destiny and Wayfinder here are on the channel to cover and look out for here on Helm to Tower. So, really excited to check out this stuff. Again, I know I kind of first made this idea. I threw out some games that have kind of already been out for a little while, like something like Warframe or Final Fantasy 14. I immediately kind of thought about it a little bit more, and I don't know if I will go all in on those kind of games, just because I want to grow this channel. I want it to expand. And I think maybe hopping into communities that have a lot more established content creators that already are doing a lot of stuff for those games, and I'm just not going to be able to keep up with those. I might still look at those games, when I have the time or it makes sense. I know Final Fantasy 14 is getting a big expansion in the summer as well with Dawn Trail. So I might, dabble back into Final Fantasy 14. I have played it a decent amount, a couple years ago, getting up to Stormblood. So what might be fun to do some streams or something. I don't know, just something a little bit more casual, and do some catch up with that stuff to Dawn Trail. Also like Warframe, I have a buddy who's pretty into it, and he's been kind of trying to like nudge me to get into it maybe and check it out because of things like Destiny and Warframe or Destiny and Wayfinder that I already like quite a bit. So maybe I'll finally give that a shot. But if I do those, I probably won't really look at it as like games I'm going to be covering full time on the channel, unless I really like them, and see an avenue where I can do something interesting with them compared to what other content creators are doing. So it's always possible that they become staples, but I just, the reality is I don't see that. And I want to look at newer games that are coming out on the horizon and, focus my coverage on those kind of games and potentially making those a part of this channel and covering them in general, just, to get impressions for new games out for people who are trying to check them out for the first time. I think that's a way I want to try and grow this channel, because that is definitely something I want to strive for in 2024, is growing this channel and having more people come by it and see all the content we do and like share my passion for these kind of games, because I think they can be awesome under the right circumstances. But there you have it, guys. This video is already longer than I thought it was going to be, and is rambly. I guess that's my MO by now. If you've been here on the channel long enough, sometimes I can get rambly in these kinds of videos when I just want to like kind of have a casual chat with you guys. But that's just is how it is. That's who I am. So whatever. But thanks again for watching. Thanks again. Yeah, if you've checked out any of the content on the channel, either it be Destiny or Wayfinder, or if you're looking forward to some of these other games, I guess I should also just say, like, if there are games in these veins that you are interested in, or already on the channel subscribed, or are going to be like subscribed to the channel, and there's an interest in a game that is in this same vein that you want me to check out, feel free to leave a comment below. I will be happy to like put it on the list and maybe do some future coverage of it if I have time. Just feel free to just let me know, and I might check it out for sure. But as always, thank you for checking out the channel. We're gonna keep doing Destiny stuff. Probably having Helm the Tower episode here pretty soon here, just talking about the remainder of Destiny stuff. Wayfinders should have some content as well, news stuff here in the coming days as well. So look out for that stuff, and I look forward to the year of 2024 with you guys. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next one.